Celtic blow it, then Rangers absolutely bottle it. What a dramatic day in this Cinch Premiership battle, this fight for the title. Celtic drawing at Easter Road against Hibernian, Rangers drawing at Ibrox against Motherwell. And after possibilities, maybe Celtic could have went 6 points clear, Rangers could have reduced the gap down to 1. In the end, the gap remains the way it was at the start of play. It is still 3 points Celtic lead Rangers by. And honestly, what a weird day in Scottish football. We'll start with the Hibs-Celtic game at Easter Road. Celtic obviously with a chance, since they're playing first, to put the pressure on Rangers to go 6 points clear. It didn't happen. It was a really poor game, in fairness. It was pretty shit. It finished Hibs 0, Celtic 0. Hibs, in terms of creating chances going forward, pretty much done absolutely nothing. They were pretty poor, but defensively, they were actually pretty good. They struggled to keep clean sheets against Celtic, but they did well today. They defended well, and in the end, they did keep the clean sheet. But Macy made a few saves as well. I mean, give fair play to the goalkeeper. He made a few saves. I was surprised to see Ryan Porteous start the match after recently being arrested for assault. Obviously, we don't really know what's happening there. Might make a video on that if there's any more update. But yeah, Ryan Porteous was arrested yesterday, yet he was playing today. So, interesting. I'm not as familiar as with the police as Ryan Porteous is, so I don't know how it really works. But yeah, I was a bit surprised that he was playing the day. Regardless, Celtic couldn't break through. They couldn't get the goal. They dropped... Well, I mean, technically, you say they dropped 2 points, but you never know until Rangers play. At the moment, it was a point that they gained. It was a point that they went further ahead of Rangers. But everybody was expecting Rangers to win and close that gap down to 1. Ange came out and said that the performance was great and that Celtic deserved to win, and that he doesn't look at the result as a negative. He looks at the performance as a plus. And he was saying how bounces just didn't go their way, and on another day they would have scored. I mean, I like Ange, but that seems to be the typical bullshit he comes out with after every single game. If Celtic don't win a game, he just comes out and says, well, we deserve to win, so everything's okay. And I mean, that's not really how it works, Ange, right? Just because you were the better team in a game, it doesn't solve all the answers, you know? It doesn't answer all the questions. You need to put the ball in the back of the net. Just being the better team, then coming out in the post-match press conference or whatever, the post-match interview, and saying, well, here, we didn't score, but we're the better team, so it doesn't matter, let's not panic. I mean, that's not how it works, guys, you know what I mean? That's not how it works. But regardless, Hibs got the draw against Celtic. Celtic increased the lead to 4 points, and then come Rangers. Rangers against Motherwell at Ibrox. The mighty Rangers, you're thinking, hold on here. They've just beat Dortmund. They've just put out Dortmund 6-4 on aggregate. Surely they'll have enough in the tank against Motherwell. First half, pretty much dominated. Went 2-0 up. Goals from Morelos and I think it was Fashion Sakala. And at this stage, you're thinking, well, that's it. There's no way Rangers can blow it from here. Rangers surely have to see this out now. Win this match and close the gap to Celtic. But that's not what happened. Second half, Motherwell with the fight back. No, I don't think anybody's seen this happen. Not even Motherwell fans. The two fans that bothered turning up to Ibrox probably left at half time because it wasn't looking good for them. But goals thanks to former Hearts man Roberts and Woolery. They did get the 2 goals. They did get back into the game. They got the point. And it was Rangers that ended up dropping points here. They could only take 1 out of the 4 that Celtic were ahead. And it reduced the gap back down to 3, which it originally started at the day. So, after, you know, a madness in action here, it was an absolute mad day at FIPA, it looks like things remain the same. It looks like things are the exact same as they were at the start of the day. But are they really the same? Because while the gap in points hasn't changed, I would definitely say this is advantage Celtic for this 2 simple reasons. One, you look at the fixture list, you look at both of these fixtures, you would have thought Celtic had the much tougher game travelling to Easter Road to take on Hibs than Rangers had, you know, at home to Ibrox against Motherwell. So out of these 2 teams, you would have definitely had fancied Celtic. They would have been more likely to drop points against Hibs than Rangers would have been against Motherwell. So for that reason, it's a positive for Celtic that they've actually, you know, not dropped any points today on Rangers. They've come out with the exact same amount of points as Rangers. And secondly, it also takes another game off the fixture list. So Rangers, with 3 points behind, going into today, they had 11 games to try and claw back those 3 points and overtake Celtic at the top of the table. And now they're 1 game less. Now they only have 10. So, I mean, it might not feel like it's not a massive swing, but it definitely did help Celtic today. The fact that they played a harder team, they were away from home, they came out with the same amount of points as Rangers, and now there's 1 game less. So, honestly, big bottle job for Rangers, man. They should have won today, 2-0 up. You shouldn't really be losing 2-0 up at home against the likes of Motherwell. You really shouldn't, especially when you've got the opportunity to close the gap on your rivals in a title fight. So, yeah, absolutely crazy. We'll see where things go from here, but the gap remains 3 points. Celtic do have a 9 goal difference advantage over Rangers. You could argue it's 4 points based on the goal difference, but I wouldn't say 9 is insurmountable. I think if Rangers, all they really have to do is win a couple of games, like 4-5-0, and then all of a sudden that 9 goal difference is pretty much gone. Even if they take on Celtic, and if they can, beat Celtic by a decent amount, that would bring that goal difference down quite a bit as well. So, by no means will Rangers not finish with a better goal difference at Celtic, but at the moment it is enough to say that Celtic do have an extra point technically, because 9, while it's not massive, with only 10 games remaining, Rangers do need to start taking goals out of that difference, or else it is going to play a big difference come the end of the season. The next set of fixtures, Celtic are at home. They host St Mirren. Rangers travel to St Johnstone. St Johnstone are playing slightly better at the moment, but I expect Rangers to win that game no problem. Same for Celtic at home. I think they will have too much for St Mirren. And if both teams come through that game, then there will be 9 left, and the gap will probably still be 3. And then it goes on to the next round of fixtures, where you've got Rangers taking on Aberdeen. Always got a difficult tie there. Always a big game. Celtic travelling to Livingston. They always struggle against Livingston as well. Livingston at home, plastic pitch, are always capable of getting a result of any team in the league. So, while I think the next set of fixtures will be pretty simple for both old firms, you could definitely see them dropping points again in the following set of fixtures, when Rangers take on Aberdeen and Celtic have to travel to Livingston. Anyway, guys, that is it. Celtic remain 3 points clear at the top of the Cinch Premiership. It's looking pretty good for them. The title's not over yet, but Rangers blowing a massive chance to close the gap today, and the gap remains at 3 points. Will they regret this come the end of the season? They may very well do so. They're still in Europe though, who knows? Maybe Rangers can win the Europa League and we'll have 2 teams in the Champions League. Although, whoever finishes second in the league does still have the option. You can still qualify through the playoffs, so it's not all done yet, man. We could still see 2 Old Firm teams in the Champions League next year, but at the moment, it's definitely advantage Celtic. Anyway, guys, that's it. Leave a like, share, subscribe, comment down below. All that good stuff, and I'll catch you next time in the next video. Till then though, peace.